Elections have consequences, including for business and the economy. When President Trump was elected in 2016, markets reacted violently and turned out to be violently wrong.
But you'll remember a lot of us kind of got this wrong. On election night, when it looked like Trump was going to win, initially the market crashed. Then people said, wait a minute, the market soared up again, and it kind of took off from there.
And right now, it looks like we may get a second look at Mr. Trump's approach to the economy, as he appears to be headed to renomination as the Republican candidate, and if nominated, would be a serious contender to replace President Biden. Some say that the Biden record on economics stacks up favorably to former President Trump's.
For the first time in history, we have two candidates that have been president, so you have a track record of what to expect. In the case of President Biden, you've had so far 3 years of steadiness, good growth, markets at an all-time high. I think it's underappreciated what has gone on with the economy.
Others see President Biden's policies insufficiently pro-growth.
People are frustrated, and it's the economic policies of the Biden administration that has brought us here. It's the president's policies of paying people not to work after the pandemic, massive multi-trillion-dollar spending bills that drove inflation. And the end result is, if you speak to people here in Wisconsin, regular folks on the street, they're getting clobbered by Bidenomics, and they want to see Washington change course.
And then you have experts like Glenn Hubbard who worry that there isn't a big enough difference between the two.
What strikes me in looking at least at President Biden and former President Trump's policies is less how different they are than how similar they are. So in terms of protectionism, in terms of a fondness for industrial policy, in terms of intervention in financial markets, the two men are more similar than they are different.
But whoever gets the presidential nod this year, they're going to be faced with some big issues of the federal deficit and debt.
The problem is that's led us to years and years of borrowing too much. We now have a debt that's about to be at record levels.
I think we're in a terrible place, David, because unfortunately, once you get to legislating, there's a lot of talk, but the talk is always divided politically between the Republicans who refuse to raise taxes and the Democrats who won't deal with entitlements. I do think when we eventually get to doing this, about 60% or something of the increase in the debt from 2000 to 2022 was because of the tax cuts.